My name is Joy and I see dead people. Today we're going to be talking about the ghost tour I just took at Goldfield Ghost Town. Backstory about Goldfield Ghost Town. It was a ghost town that was rebuilt in the 1980s. It was built right next to the abandoned Mammoth Mine, which was shut down due to them hitting an underground lake and it flooding the mine and killing everybody who was trapped down there. It was also built next to the old Goldfield Cemetery, which they found out it was a cemetery because when they were doing construction, they found bodies. Grave markers were pretty much rotted. They don't really know how many spirits are there, but actual Goldfield Ghost Town is gone, but I feel like for the people who've passed, they probably still wander the area, and seeing things that look familiar probably make them feel a little bit more at home. I wouldn't doubt that they'd hang out there, especially with the things that I've experienced. Plus them bringing in old artifacts as well. Sometimes spirits can be attached to those too. Now about the actual tour. On our way to Goldfield, the aux randomly unplugged, and you always have to go in and change to radio manually. The minute unplugged, it just started playing the radio, and the driver was like, I've never had this happen, this is kind of weird. He was kind of freaked out. We get there for the tour to start. My friends are like, what are you seeing? And I'm like, I'm really not seeing anything. Maybe it's because they just don't feel like coming out. Maybe it's because it's a large tour. I don't know, but I'm not seeing anything. Walking towards the town and they stop, and I actually see a man standing next to like a telephone pole. And it turns out the telephone pole behind that is where they found the unknown prospector, first body that they actually dug up, and they gave him a proper funeral, so just so that we know that. They brought up the cemetery, and what was interesting about that is that when I looked at the cemetery, I actually saw a lot of children. It wasn't like so creepy and eerie, it was more just sad that there were all these spirits of children. It feels like a lot of the spirits that were actually at the cemetery probably moved on. There really weren't that many spirits hanging around there. The other thing I saw over there was a spirit of like a dog or a coyote. It was kind of dark so I couldn't see, but it was running around. It felt like more of a native energy. Those I don't really deal with. I like to give them their space. That's just not something I dabble in personally. Their spirits have a very different energy to them. Then we walk up to the town. There's like an old shop, and on the balcony I see another spirit of a man. This one's different. They are kind of dressed more like cowboy-y. It's kind of dark and they are gray and tan. He was just looking out over the balcony. It turns out there is a guy who likes to hang out around that area. I mean, I feel like there's like 2 or 3 men who walk around the town, like outside. Next, we went to the mines. These are, again, this is like a mine simulator. It's not taking us actually into the mines, but it does take us underground. And I feel like, you know, there's still energy down there. And again, finding somewhere that feels familiar or that gets a lot of people down there probably attracts some of that energy back there. We go into the mine. We're walking kind of down to what they call the slope, and there's rafters up in the ceiling. Above the rafters are more like rocks and like crannies, and a lot of elemental spirits in there hidden, kind of watching us. And I kept feeling throughout the mine like somebody touching my hair right here. I had a ponytail and it felt like somebody kept like touching, and like just the barely the fingertips. And at one point somebody touched my face like that. Like they were almost like trying to move the hair out of my face. That didn't make me feel super comfortable. I don't really love being touched. I did feel like something touching my legs as well. We're all on the slope and we're about to hear another kind of like ghost story, which is, you know, always fun. I decide with my friends that we're gonna sit by the stairs, which is kind of like the exit out. Our tour guide Riley's behind us, and I keep feeling like something's touching me. At a certain point, it felt like water was dripping on me. I kept feeling there's no water. I'm looking up, I don't see a leak. Do a thing where they turn off the lights, all but a candle, so that you know what it feels like to be down there as one of the miners. Then at a certain point, they blow out the candle. To my left, I thought somebody had like indigestion. It was like, brrr. Thought maybe someone was like burping or something, but it was like really creepy, and I was like, what was that? And the people around us heard it too. Somebody gets a flashlight. I'm looking at where it was, and I'm expecting to see a guy there. There's nothing there. There's a guy sitting next to it, kind of, but like a couple feet away, and I was like, dude, was that you? I was like, did you have some indigestion? Not trying to put you on the spot, my guy, but that just scared me. Are you okay? Did you burp? Did something happen? Was that you? And he was like, no. And there were several times that I heard his wife talking, and it wasn't him. Like, they really didn't know who it was. I even like confronted his wife later. I was like, you swear to goodness that was not him, because it scared the crap out of me. Everybody on that side of the mine heard it. I felt like I saw something near the railing of the stairs. I took a picture of it, and I took 2 side-by-sides. And I kind of see something in it, and I'll let you guys decide at the end what you guys see, but it almost looks like there's a mist right under the railing. My friend's boyfriend put his hand on the railing, and all of a sudden he felt like his arm was like burning, like on fire. Tour guide kept feeling like something was like touching his ear, kind of on the exact same side as someone was touching me here. Where the growl was like the actual cave that they get a lot of activity. He was standing up by that cave and he actually, his whole ear was red. Post a picture of that at the end too. We walked up to the bordello, which I've had many experiences at, and I'll be kind of telling a story about that in just a bit. Go up the spiral stairs, an episode of Ghost Adventures where they actually capture a figure going up those stairs, which is really, really cool. Go check it out. We're standing in the bordello. There's a lady in there that always just is angry. She's standing right behind me, between my friend Mariah, whose birthday we were celebrating. Just trying to ignore it because you could just feel it. You could feel her wanting us out. People in the group had little EMF detectors and they start going, oh, it's going crazy right here. Sure enough, they're right there. And I'm like, not trying to be weird, but like a lady standing. And she's like, it's just all around you. It's all around you. And I was like, I've been told I'm a magnet before. So, you know, here we are. So there's a little boy in that bordello. He's got like light brown hair. It's almost kind of like a bowl cut. He's pretty small. I would say he's maybe about 5. And he always likes to run down the hallway, into the lobby, down the hallway, into the lobby. Sure enough, we're in the lobby part, and I keep seeing him run up to me and then run away, run up to me and run away. So I told them, like, hey, there's a little boy that keeps running up and down here. If you put your EMF detector low, I'm sure you'll capture him. Sure enough, doesn't work high. The minute she gets low, I see him hesitate, and I just told him, hey, you can go up to it. It's okay. And right after I said that, it went off. We're all freaking out. I'm like, yeah, it's just like a little boy. Not anything bad. The other spirit I've seen in there, she wasn't there this time, but there's usually a lady who almost looks like a professor. She's got glasses on. She's always laying on the fainting couch. She's always been nice. Sometimes I see a spirit of a little girl, a little African-American girl with like pigtails. Sometimes they're in braids, sometimes they're curls. I saw her a little bit this time, but I only saw a glimpse of her. The last time I was there 8 years ago. I saw her a lot more. Story about the little boy. 8 years ago, I went with my friend Mariah. We went during the day. The lady who was working that day also believed that it was haunted. And so when I started kind of talking about the stuff I saw, she was really interested, especially when I brought the little boy, because she actually captured a picture of it. I told her, I talked to him, and he asked for something to play with, like jacks. Hey, maybe you should get some jacks. I think that would make him feel a lot more at home, like a ball or something. So she did. So she brought them. And so at the end of the tour, I happened to ask the tour guide, and I was like, hey, do you guys still have the jacks here? I mean, it's been like 8 years, so I didn't expect it. And his face was like, start calling over the other tour guides. He's like, she just asked about the jacks. Yeah, they're actually there because of me. And they were like freaking out. Apparently 3 days prior, what are the odds? They were going through some old drawers and found a little box of jacks and a ball. And I said, it's for the little boy that hangs out here. I told the lady working that she should get them for him and that, you know, he'd like to play with them, and they had just put it in this room. So that was a really, really cool experience. Then I started getting my legs touched, which wasn't my favorite, and honestly, I was kind of done by then. I was very drained, and when we left, I was okay. I think there was still adrenaline with it, but when we were in the car, I don't know what happened. I always have my protections, but I had to like extra put them on because I felt like I was gonna vomit. I was dizzy, though, like it felt like everything was at a tilt, almost like vertigo, and I felt so sick. I almost didn't even go to the bar with them after because I was struggling, but it was my freaking best friend's birthday, so I was not gonna miss out on there. So yeah, that is my crazy fun story from Goldfield Ghost Town in Apache Junction, Arizona.